All right, sixth graders, this is to help you with question 6 on CR Helper number 9. All right, so I believe on your actual CR it says to simplify a set of fractions that you're dividing using models. I'll be honest, I didn't really have a good clear picture of how to use models, so a sixth grader named Michaela helped me figure out how to divide fractions using models. So hopefully I'm going to do this correctly. So Michaela says her first step to figure out how many thirds will fit into 4/5 is to find common denominators. She says you have to first rewrite your denominators so that you have a common denominator. So she decides between 5 and 3, the common denominator would be 15. So she rewrites 4/5 as an equivalent fraction with 15 as a denominator. So she multiplies the denominator of this by 3. So she multiplies the numerator of this by 3. Right, to make this fraction out of 15ths. So 4/5 is the same as 12 15ths. 5 times 3 is 15, 4 times 3 is 12. Divide it by, then she rewrites 1/3 as some sort of 15ths. So she multiplies this denominator by 5, which makes her multiply this numerator by 5, so it stays equivalent. 1 times 5 is 5, 3 times 5 is 15. All right. Then she decides to draw 12 15ths. So she makes a model. It would be out of 15, but she only cares about 12 of them. So she says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then she does have, 13, 14, 15, but she only cares up to 12. She only cares about 12 of them. And then she says you want to group them by 5s. So out of these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, how many 5 15ths will fit in there? So she counts over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And she says that's 1 whole. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And she says that's 2 whole. And then she says, okay, then I have 2 left over. And I was breaking it into 1, 2, 3, 4/5, right? Because she's grouping them by 5s. So she had a group of 5 there. She had a group of 5 here. So she says, I'm grouping them by 5s and I have 2 left over. So I have 2/5 left over because she's grouping them by 5s. So then she tells me the final answer is 2 2/5. And I'm like, wow, that's tough for me to see. So then she says, no worries if that's hard for you to see. She says, you could also now, so this is the method using models. So this would be method 2. Method 1 would be using models. And I believe on your CR that's what you have to do. So then she says it's 2 2/5. Here's the second method she's shown me. She says 12 15ths divided by 5 15ths. She says, now that you have a common denominator, you can divide straight across the top, straight across the bottom. And she says 15 divided by 15 is just 1. So she says, really, you're trying to do 12 divided by 5. So then she does 5 into 12. 5 goes into 12, she tells me twice. 2 times 5 is 10. 12 minus 10 is 2. So she says it's 2 and 2 left over out of 5. So she says it's 2 2/5. I'm like, all right, I can buy that method. Then she says, and if you don't like that method, then she says, then do the standard algorithm. So method 3 is our standard algorithm. Keep, change, flip, skip, flip, multiply. Multiply by the reciprocal. She loves to use her word reciprocal. 4/5 divided by 1/3. She says you keep the 4/5, you change your division to multiplication, and you make that a 3/1, taking the reciprocal of that. She says, and then go ahead and multiply straight across the top, straight across the bottom. She's like, you still get 12/5. Then you say, how many times does 5 go into 12? 5 goes into 12 twice with 2 left over. So it's 2 and 2 whats? 2 and 2/5. So that's how she gets me to buy into this model, because when she uses a second method with me, she proves to me it's 2 and 2/5, and a third method it's 2 and 2/5. And she's a rock star with those models. So she says, make a common denominator. You care about 12/15, so you can stop drawing after 12. And then you're wondering how many groups of 5 fit into that 12/15. So she says 1 group of 5, 2 groups of 5, and then you have 2 extra fifths left over. I think that's a really interesting way to look at division of fractions. I hope that helps.